All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Cabinet approves policy on long-term leasing of railway land, 300 cargo terminals to be developed in the next 5 years. Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate two-day national conference of state cooperation ministers in New Delhi today. NTA announces results of NEET Undergraduate 2022. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to participate in India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Tokyo today. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina confers Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Scholarship on Indian students in New Delhi. Government extends ceasefire agreement with National Socialist Council of Nagaland Faction K Nikki Group for a year. Keralites across the globe celebrating Onam today. And in cricket, India to take on Afghanistan in Super 4 match of Asia Cup this evening. Pakistan defeat Afghanistan by 1 wicket to qualify for the final. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today inaugurate the Kartavya Path, a stretch of the central vista from the Rashtrapati Bhavan to India Gate. It symbolizes a shift from erstwhile Rajpath being an icon of power to Kartavya Path being an example of public ownership and empowerment. The entire stretch has been revamped under the Modi government's ambitious Central Vista Redevelopment Project. On the occasion, Mr. Modi will also unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate. The statue is being installed in the same place where a hologram statue of Netaji was unveiled in January this year by Mr. Modi on Parakram Divas to mark the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji. These steps are in line with Prime Minister's second Panch Pran for New India in Amrit Kal, remove any trace of colonial mindset. We have a report.
Kartavya Path will exhibit improved public spaces and facilities including lawns with walkways, green spaces, improved signage, new amenity blocks and vending kiosks. Besides, new pedestrian underpasses, improved parking spaces, new exhibition panels and upgraded night lighting are some of the other features of the Kartavya Path which will enhance the public experience. During the function, the 28-feet tall statue of Netaji, which is being unveiled by Prime Minister, is one of the tallest, realistic and handmade sculptures in India. The unveiling of the statue of Netaji will be accompanied to the tune of traditional Aine song Kadam Kadam Badhaya Ja. To demonstrate the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat and unity in diversity, a cultural festival by 500 dancers drawn from all parts of the country will be showcased on the Kartavya Path. The festival at Kartavya Path will commence after the main function. It will continue till 11th September from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. A special 10-minute drone show on Netaji's life will also be projected at India Gate. The entry to both the cultural festival and the drone show will be free for the public. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Delhi Traffic Police has made elaborate arrangements to facilitate the safety of pedestrians, including children, and to ensure smooth movement of traffic in the New Delhi district in view of the inauguration of Kartavya Path. In its traffic advisory, Delhi Police has said that general traffic will be diverted from the specific roads from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. today. Traffic movement will be diverted from roads including Tilak Marg, Purana Kila Road, Sher Shah Road, Pandara Road and Ashoka Road. In view of a large number of expected footfall in the function, people are advised to avoid using their private vehicles and cabs and to travel to Central Vista, instead using public transport or to avail park and ride facility. In morning matters, now let us listen to a discussion on Central Vista project and its features. The participants are Shekhar Iyer, political analyst, and Aditi Tandon, journalist.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation a fully refurbished Central Vista Avenue. It will obviously be a very historical moment in the national journey, considering that this is happening right after the country marked the 76th Independence Day, and we've already entered the Amrit Kal of independence, which means that in the next 25 years we will be marking our centenary. As we know, Mr. Iyer, that Prime Minister Modi in his Independence Day speech had spoken of shedding even the last trace of colonial mindset that we might have. And now we are shedding colonial trace of Rajpath. And Rajpath will now be called Kartavya Path. How do you look at this whole process?
This is a very, very significant step because people can say what is there in a name. But I think the very fact that Viceregal Lodge was renamed as Rashtrapati Bhavan, that completely changed the way you look at things when the name changes. Now, in this particular case, as you mentioned, the Prime Minister recently, when he addressed the Independence Day celebrations from the Red Fort, he had talked of 5 pledges. And one of the pledges was, the first pledge was, we must give up this colonial mindset, tendency to hang on to some of the things that we have received as bequeathed to us by the British. And we feel as if that without that we don't have an identity. What you are seeing is 2 things. One, with a completely and improved, refurbished central space of Delhi, I would say. And along with that being called a Kartavya Path, that itself is very significant because over the years there has been so much of emphasis on our adhikar, on our hak, on our rights. And so constantly there has been a call from the President downwards, and the Prime Minister said it several times. It is also important that citizens realize their duties to the country also. So by renaming an important public thoroughfare as Kartavya Path is a reminder to all citizens that we also owe something to this nation.
Also, Mr. Iyer, it's interesting that Central Vista is reopening at a time when India has just overtaken the United Kingdom as the world's 5th largest economy. And isn't that very coincidental and a very interesting time in history that India has now overtaken the country that ruled it for so many years?
When the world itself is looking at us in a very new perspective, and there is so much of potential in this country that is now coming to the fore. So definitely we as a countrymen need to feel proud that we'll soon have world-class facilities, institutions and structures that will make us feel proud. And also the fact, right from the time the Prime Minister took off, he has been essentially saying that we'll have to move with the time and we'll have to prepare for the future. That may need a lot of changes, whether it is our railways, our roadways, whether it is our infrastructures like our airports, seeing more greenfield airports. See, all this is to take care of the future because India as a country must think of the future needs and prepare today for that future.
Also, Mr. Iyer, what the Prime Minister said in the Independence Day speech with respect to the collective national effort to make India a developed country over the period of the Amrit Kal that has now started with the 76th Independence Day that we just marked. And there was a fabulous Har Ghar Tiranga campaign which was also a stupendous success, tried for the first time in the history of the country. And again, you will remember how the government made changes to the flag code to enable people to actually hoist the flag 24/7. Everything that we see around us, whether it is the redevelopment of Central Vista, the renaming of the roads, the development of Prime Minister's Museum, all seems to be the part of the larger narrative that Prime Minister unveiled in his Independence Day speech, Mr. Iyer.
Aditi, our Prime Minister believes in that for any movement to be successful, for any big change to happen in this country, it has to be a people's movement, or it must involve mass participation. That is possible only if their emotions are involved in big things. That is why you saw Tiranga Yatra this time, as you mentioned, was made in such a way that every Indian feels proud to hold the tricolor. That particular significance is the fact that when you feel proud of your country, you want to do the best and you want to see that whatever little you do in whichever sphere of activity you are, you want to do the best because that's the best service for the country. So in order to invoke this spirit, the Prime Minister has been talking of this Panch Pran and the fact that these pledges make us commit ourselves, particularly among the youth. See, for the elderly people, they can have a different view, but the youth has to get motivated. And the best way to get motivated is to understand the 5 pledges or the 5 prans, which the Prime Minister spoke about. Because without motivation, big changes are not possible. Because just as we saw Swachh Bharat campaign, Initially people thought it was a government campaign, but it turned out to be a mass movement. That school children, college students, everybody participated. That is what the Prime Minister wants, that every big thing, every big change involves a lot of public participation. At the same time, a participation that brings out their responsibilities and their sincerity towards fulfillment of the goals that we have for this country.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
The Union Cabinet has approved policy on long-term leasing of railway land for implementing PM Gati Shakti framework. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said the policy will bring more revenue to the railways and generate about 1,20,000 jobs. He said 300 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals will also be developed over the next 5 years.
पीएम गति शक्ति फ्रेमवर्क को लागू करने के लिए रेलवे की नई लैंड पॉलिसी को संशोधित करने के लिए रेल मंत्रालय के प्रस्ताव को मंजूरी दी है। इसमें चाहे कार्गो रिलेटेड एक्टिविटीज हो, पब्लिक यूटिलिटीज हो या रेलवे के एक्सक्लूसिव यूज की बात हो, इसमें संशोधन किए गए हैं और ये संशोधित रेलवे की जो भूमि नीति है, इससे बुनियादी ढांचे को और अधिक कार्गो टर्मिनल्स के एकीकृत विकास को बढ़ावा देगी। ये संशोधन प्रतिवर्ष भूमि के बाजार मूल्य के 1.5% की दर से 35 वर्ष की अवधि तक कार्गो के लिए और कार्गो से संबंधित जो गतिविधियां हैं उसके लिए रेलवे की भूमि की लॉन्ग टर्म लीजिंग का प्रावधान इसमें किया गया है। अगले 5 वर्षों में 300 से ज्यादा पीएम गति शक्ति कार्गो टर्मिनल विकसित किए जाएंगे। 1.25 लाख से ज्यादा इसमें स्वरोजगार के अवसर होंगे।
Speaking to reporters, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said the Cabinet also approved the launch of a new centrally sponsored scheme for setting up of Prime Minister Schools for Rising India, PM Shri Schools. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah will inaugurate a 2-day national conference of state cooperation ministers in New Delhi today. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Union Minister of State for Cooperation B.L. Verma said, along with cooperation ministers and additional chief secretaries, principal secretaries, registrars of cooperatives and representatives from 36 state governments and union territories will attend the conference.
सहकारिता मंत्रालय में पूरे देश के सभी राज्यों के सहकारिता मंत्री, सभी केंद्र शासित राज्यों के सहकारिता मंत्री, ये सब यहाँ पर आने वाले हैं और साथ में हमारे कुछ अधिकारी और फेडरेशन के लोग। उसमें सुबह हम 10 बजे से लेकर के शाम को 6 बजे कार्यक्रम करने की योजना है। अमित शाह जी जो हमारे गृह और सहकारिता मंत्री हैं, सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि पूरे दिन वो कार्यक्रम में रहने वाले हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने इस मंत्रालय का जिस विजन के साथ में गठन किया है और जिस तरह से अपेक्षा इस देश को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए सरकार से समृद्धि का जो विजन लेकर आए हैं, नई हम राष्ट्रीय सरकारी नीति हम लेकर आ रहे हैं। वो 47 सदस्य वो हमने एक कमेटी बनाई हुई है और थोड़ी चर्चा करने वाले हैं और सहकारिता को कैसे हम एक जमीनी जन आंदोलन ठीक प्रकार से बना सकें, इसके लिए सभी राज्यों के सहकारिता मंत्री के साथ हम चर्चा करेंगे।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will participate in the second India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Tokyo today. The Japanese side will be represented by Minister of Defence Yasukazu Hamada and Minister of Foreign Affairs Yoshimasa Hayashi. The 2+2 dialogue will review bilateral cooperation across domains and chart out the way forward. The Defence Minister will separately hold bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart to further strengthen defence cooperation between the two countries across various sectors. He is also scheduled to call on the Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida, during the visit. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina conferred the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Student Scholarship at a function in New Delhi yesterday. The first ever Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Student Scholarship was conferred on the direct descendants of soldiers, officers of armed forces of India who were martyred or critically wounded during the historic Liberation War of 1971. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who attended the function, said, India-Bangladesh relations have taken great strides forward in ways that have not only shaped the contemporary but also the future trajectory of the partnership in mind.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Cabinet approves policy on long-term leasing of railway land. 300 cargo terminals to be developed in the next 5 years. Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate 2-day national conference of state cooperation ministers in New Delhi today. NTA announces results of NEET Undergraduate 2022. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to participate in India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Tokyo today. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina confers Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Scholarship on Indian students in New Delhi. Government extends ceasefire agreement with National Socialist Council of Nagaland K-Niki Group for a year. Keralites across the globe celebrating Onam today. And in cricket, India to take on Afghanistan in Super 4 match of the Asia Cup this evening. Pakistan defeat Afghanistan by 1 wicket to qualify for the final. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
मुट्ठी भर अंग्रेज और हमारे विशाल देश पर राज करने का स्वप्न देख रहे हैं, पर हम इनके स्वप्न को चकनाचूर कर देंगे।
निकल पड़े स्वाधीनता के पथ वाले, स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की सुनी अनसुनी कहानियों के साथ स्वराज हर रविवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
The ceasefire agreement with National Socialist Council of Nagaland K-Niki Group has been extended for a period of 1 year. The Home Ministry said it was decided to extend the ceasefire agreement between government and National Socialist Council of Nagaland K-Niki Group for a period of 1 year with effect from today. It will remain effective till the 7th of September next year. Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has said that healthcare sector in India is expected to reach a size of $50 billion by 2025. Addressing the 14th CII Global MedTech Summit in New Delhi, Dr. Singh said, over the past 2 years, healthcare has become more focused on innovation and technology. The minister added that India aims to achieve 10 to 12% of the global market share of the medical devices sector. Maharashtra State Election Commission has announced poll schedule for 1,166 Gram Panchayats spread over 18 districts. Polling for these panchayats will be held on the 13th of next month. State Election Commissioner UPS Madan said the nominations will be accepted from 21st to 27th of this month, while scrutiny will be done on the 28th of this month. The counting of votes will be taken up on the 14th of next month.
BJP President Jagat Prakash Nadda interacted with head of missions to India of 9 countries at the party headquarters in New Delhi yesterday. The interaction was part of the No BJP campaign, which was started on the 6th of April 2022. During the interaction, Mr. Nadda recalled the history of the BJP, its long journey, its struggle and electoral successes, the changes that the BJP governments have brought in the centre and states, and also the future plans of the party. National Testing Agency NTA has declared the results of the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test Undergraduate NEET UG 2022. Candidates can check their results on www.nta.ac.in. Female candidate Tanishka from Rajasthan has secured first rank, while Vats Ashish Batra from Delhi got second, and Rishikesh Nagbhushan Gangule from Karnataka got third rank in the medical entrance examination. This year, more than 18,72,000 candidates had registered for the entrance test, while around 17,64,000 candidates appeared at the examination. Out of them, around 9,93,000 qualified in the exam. The doyen of Bhojpuri folk theatre art, Londa Nach, and legendary artist Ramchandra Majhi passed away in Bihar yesterday. 97-year-old Majhi breathed his last at a hospital in Patna. Majhi was an oldest member of a troupe of great folk artists and Bhojpuri poet with the sobriquet Shakespeare's of Bhojpuri, Bhikhari Thakur. He was a staunch supporter of good and meaningful songs and performances in Bhojpuri folk theatre. Felicitated with Sangeet Natak Academy Award, Maji was also a prestigious Padma Shri awardee in the field of arts.
Keralites across the world are today celebrating Thiruvonam, one of the most auspicious days during the Onam festival. Onam commemorates the return of a mythical righteous king, King Mahabali, and brings together communities across the landscape in unified revelry. The President and the Vice President have greeted the countrymen on the occasion of Onam. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for the 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani ke Saath, reliving the journey of India since independence over the last 75 years with All India Radio. From 15th August, the series is being broadcast on All India Radio, 100.1 FM Gold Channel, primetime news bulletins and across all its platforms. Tune in to stay updated with All India Radio.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of two legends of Indian music, Pandit Ravi Shankar and Pandit Bhimsen Joshi.
In today's episode, we will bring you the story of two legends of Indian music, Pandit Ravi Shankar and Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. Pandit Ravi Shankar learned sitar under the noted musician Ustad Alauddin Khan and started his career as a music director at All India Radio, New Delhi, where he worked from 1948 to 1956. In 1956, he began to tour Europe and the Americas, playing Indian classical music. His association with violinist Yehudi Menuhin, Beatles guitarist George Harrison, and Bob Dylan helped popularize the use of Indian instruments in Western pop music in the latter half of the 1960s. He recomposed the music for the popular song Sare Jahan Se Acha at the age of 25. Winner of 5 Grammy Awards, Pandit Ravi Shankar also composed music for Satyajit Ray's Apu's trilogy. From 1986 to 1992, he served as a nominated member of Rajya Sabha. He continued to perform until the end of his life. A brilliant exponent in the field of Hindustani classical music, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi is a legend who had not just earned the respect and admiration of his fans, but that of his critics as well. Famous for perfecting the khayal, a form of Hindustani classical, Bhimsen Joshi was also known for his presentation of devotional music. His bhajans, which were usually sung in Kannada, Hindi and Marathi languages, are widely recognized and appreciated not just by ardent music lovers, but also by devotees all over the country. In 1943, he started working at All India Radio in Mumbai. When All India Radio opened a station in Dharwad in 1950, the inaugural song Vande Mataram was sung by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Gangubai Hangal, Mallikarjun Mansoor and Basavraj Rajguru. His most memorable performance that is recalled by his fans even today is the song Mile Sur
In Asia Cup T20 cricket, India will take on Afghanistan in their Super 4 match in Dubai today. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. Indian time. Last night, Pakistan defeated Afghanistan by 1 wicket in their final Super 4 match at Sharjah to qualify for the final. This result means that India and Afghanistan have been eliminated from the Asia Cup final race as they remained winless from 2 matches of the Super 4 stage. Pakistan will take on Sri Lanka in the final on Sunday. In the US Open tennis, top seed Iga Swiatek overpowered American player Jessica Pegula 6-3, 7-6 this morning to complete the semi-final lineup in the women's singles. Polish Swiatek will take on 6th seed Arina Sabalenka of Belarus in the last 4 tomorrow. In the other semi-finals, 5th seed Tunisian Ons Jabeur will meet 17th seed Caroline Garcia of France. In men's singles, 5th seed Casper Ruud will clash with 27th seed Karen Khachanov of Russia for a place in the finals. Frances Tiafoe has also sealed a berth in the semi-finals. Ruud of Norway defeated Italy's Matteo Berrettini in the quarter-finals. Russian Khachanov reached his first Grand Slam semi-final with a win over Australian firebrand Nick Kyrgios. Frances Tiafoe became the first American man to reach a US Open semi-final in 16 years after overpowering 9th seed Andrei Rublev.
In football, defending champions India started their campaign in SAF Women's Championship with a 3-0 victory over Pakistan at the Dasarath Stadium at Kathmandu in Nepal yesterday. With this, Indian women's team extended their unbeaten run to 27 matches in the championship. India now leads Group A with 3 points. Bangladesh and Maldives are the remaining 2 teams in the group. Host Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bhutan are slotted in Group B. India will next play against Maldives on Saturday. And now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 26 and the maximum was around 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain and Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with the possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh and Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky and Hyderabad will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Itanagar, Agartala as well, Imphal, Gangtok, Kohima and Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers, and Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. PM throwing open the new Vista Avenue today is the front page story in many dailies. Modi backs economic and energy ties with Russia, headlines The Times of India. The Tribune quotes S. Jaishankar as saying that India is pushing for deeper ties with US too. Union Minister Piyush Goyal launched Supporting Entrepreneurs Through Transformation and Upskilling SETU initiative in California to connect American investors with Indian startups, reports Hindustan Times. Manufacturers and retailers of single-use plastic are yet to take a ban on them seriously, writes the Pioneer, with over 92,000 challans issued in just 11 states in 2 months. Liz Truss picks diverse cabinet, drops all Sunak loyalists. Indian origin Suela is new Home Secretary, reports the Asian Age. Ahead of Diwali, Delhi reimposes ban on all crackers till 1st January 2023, reports the Indian Express. And finally, gold plating of the famed Somnath temple will be completed in the next 5 years, reports the Statesman.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Cabinet approves policy on long-term leasing of railway land, 300 cargo terminals to be developed in next 5 years. Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate 2-day national conference of state cooperation ministers in New Delhi today. NTA announces results of NEET undergraduate 2022. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to participate in India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Tokyo today. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina confers Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Scholarship on Indian students in New Delhi. Government extends ceasefire agreement with National Socialist Council of Nagaland K. Nikki Group for a year. Keralites across the globe celebrating Onam today. And in cricket, India to take on Afghanistan in Super 4 match of Asia Cup this evening. Pakistan defeat Afghanistan by 1 wicket to qualify for the final. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.